Hello and welcome to LearningEngineer.com, where we engineer learning for efficiency. My name is Michael Langton, and what I'm doing is I'm picking up where we left off in part 2, but with some modifications. So I want to add some different controls other than just a text box. Okay. So we have our first two items, but I think for the next item we're going to use what's called a combo box, because in our next item, which is our affiliation, we could actually put in like multiple affiliations into this comment box, and the person, like the student using this, could just select from the list in the combo box rather than typing it in. My philosophy with technology is it's supposed to take all those things that we do that are tedious and boring. That's what automation is for. Redoing things over and over again is not really the kind of the best way to be using technology. Oftentimes people don't like the idea of using this automated form to automatically format this document. And my belief on that is that that's totally misses the point of technology. Technology is there to help us deal with the tedious and the boring stuff so that we can get to the good stuff that we want to do, and not the tedious stuff that we have to do. Technology should be doing that. And one of the things it can do is automatically format a paper with the required information to make the formatted paper proper. So that's what I'm doing here. So our next item is, of course, our affiliation. And so this would be affiliation name. And then, of course, we need a label for that. And because we're not doing anything with these labels, we don't actually need to name them. You generally name stuff that you're going to deal with with a part of your program, your programming, something like that. So now I'm just going to take this and Control C and Control V for copy and paste. Okay. And then after affiliation comes the course name, and you could obviously insert multiple courses that could use this. And then this would be change the caption to course name. And let's just make that course name, Control V. This would be instructor's name. So instructor name. And this would be instructors. And then finally due date, but I think we're just going to use a text box for that. So we'll just use, and we'll bring it in a little bit. We'll change the label to due date. Oh, and of course we need to change this to due date. And then what we can do here is where it says text, we can say like example January 1, 2022. Okay. Oops. And you can even type it in there. So we could just say example, so that the person gets an idea of what we're looking for as far as the due date, because this is the format they should follow. Now it would be nice if there was a date control here. I tried to put one in and it crashed, so I'm not going back to that. I'm sure if you wanted to, you could figure out a way to populate one of these with dates, but I'm not going to do that. They can just type in the date as you see in this format. Okay, Now the next thing we need is we just need some command buttons. So there's our one command button. So we need we probably need a submit button, and then we probably need a cancel button. Whoops. So now one of the things I want to show you you can do here is we could actually select this. We can select this, this, and we can unselect. Oh, I'm sorry. You have to hold it in the control key. That's why it's grabbing all of it. So if you hold down the control key and select, it will skip. If I were to hold down this one and the last one and with shift down, it would select them all. And that's what was going on here. So one of the things we can do is we can just do the font for all of these selected items at once. So I can change this from 12 to bold, and as you can see, everything changes there, and these will all be the same font, and so on. So here we have, I like to call this one OK button for the OK button, and of course the caption would be OK, and over here would be the cancel button. Cancel button. Oh, I do want to change this to lowercase OK button, and this one would be cancel. Now, what do we put on cancel? Well, what we do with cancel is we would double click on cancel, and then here we would type in author info form dot hide. Okay. And that's what we would type in cancel, and what it would do is it would just close this window, this form window, and you would go into your document. So that's what cancel does. Okay. So one of the first things I want to do is populate these combo boxes. Okay. And the way you do that is we would come down to this form and we would double click on the form. Okay. Or yes, we would double click on the form. And then we would come over to here. So this is the name of the form. And then what we want to do with the form is we want to pick one of these events, and the event we want to pick is initialize. Okay, and so we come over here, and then we're just going to make up our lists. Okay. So our first list will be, so the first thing would be is our affiliation list. Okay. So we'll say affiliation, and then dot, and then list, and then it equals an array. So we're making an array. And then of course we have to have our, parentheses. Okay. And so this is where we would have our affiliation. So we could say something like General Education Division, University of Wisconsin, we'll just say Madison. Okay. So you can put anything you want there. And then I could put like, business division. University of Rock County. Okay. I could say English Department, University of North Dakota. Okay, so the point is that you can have in here a list as many things as you want, really. Okay, and then we're going to do our next list, which would be our course list. So course.list equals array, and we can have like business planning, right? English composition, we could say copy editing, communication, and let's say speech. Next up, we could have our instructor list. So we have Mr. Holland, Mr. Cotter, I don't know any teachers on TV. John Doe, and of course his wife Jane Doe. Oh, Mary Sullivan, of course. We have to have her as an instructor. And Marie, whoops, and of course Marie Montessori. Whoops. There we go. So those are our three lists. Okay. So I can close that. And I am going to come up here and save this. It's a good idea to save this just in case something crashes or some, I don't know, something crashes. Okay, so that's set. Then the next thing we want to do is we want to come down to our OK button. So let's go with that. So let's double click on this. And there's our sub button. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set our variable. So we're going to say dim author name as range. And I'm just going to do this in lower. So dim author name as range. Then we're going to say set author name equal to active document dot bookmarks. Whoops. I don't know why it drops to the next line. Okay, and then this is where we put in our bookmark name. And our bookmark name is author name. Whoops. And then this is range. And I'm not a big fan of these naming conventions that I have here, so I'm just going to abbreviate it to auth name. Okay, and do it like that. So auth, lowercase, the N in name is capitalized. Okay, range. And then the student name dot text, or they should say the author name dot text equals the me author name dot value. Whoops. Okay. So that's the text box. And then we do the same thing with all of them. So if I wanted to, I could copy and paste this. So I could say Control C, Control V. and just go down the line with, well, let's do the paper title now. Okay, dim paper title as range, set paper title, whoops, equals active document bookmarks paper title. Oops, as range dot text equals oh no, okay, I'm sorry. This would be paper title dot value. Okay, and let's just do the same again. So we have author name. So where's the list? So I did make a small mistake, and that is under the sub-user form initialize, which is what we got when we double-clicked on this. So this would have to be, so this is giving the affiliation name box. Okay. And I believe this is course name. I believe this is instructor name. So these have to be the name of these combo boxes. Okay, so this is affiliation name, course name, instructor name. So that is correct. Affiliation name, course name, instructor name. Yep. So I'm going to quick save this, and let's see what happens when we click on it. Yes, it worked. If I click on here, you can see that, in fact, this did in fact work. Okay, so our list, our combo boxes have lists. Okay. Okay, and now I'm going to click cancel, and you'll see what happens. Now, of course, then we need to stop this. So we're going to click reset, and I'll reset it. So that's working now. So now we're going to come back here and start doing this again. And we really don't have to do anything different as far as these are concerned. We just have to get the names all right. Okay. So the author name text is me author name dot value. Okay. Oh no, I'm sorry, we already did that one. So right now we're going to work on the affiliation one. So a set, we'll say F name as range, F name, whoops, equals active document bookmarks. And this was just called affiliation. Okay. And then this would be affiliation, whoops, sorry. value. Okay, and then we do the rest, same thing for the rest of them, of the combo boxes. It's not really any different. It's still picking what you've selected from it. So after author name, paper title, affiliation, we have the course name. So we'll just say course name. And if I want to, I could just double click on this, Control C, Control V, Control V, and then this would be author name. Oops, I'm sorry. That is not correct. This is course number name. And then we want to get this from our list. So this is just course name. Okay. Paste again. Whoops. Let's take this. Control C. Paste again. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have course name. Now we can do instructor name. And we want to change this to instructor name. And this one we want to change to instructor name, but it's all lowercase. Okay. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 6, but actually we need 7. So what we need to do is we need to take this paper title one. Okay, because if you remember, we have 2 bookmarks for the paper title, and no, you can't use the same. You really can't use the same. I don't believe you can use the same variables, but we can try it. So let's get rid of this. And then what we would need to do is just change this one to paper title 2 dot value, and we can see if that'll work. So let's just see if that'll work. So we'll finish this up. So our last one would be our due date. So we'll say dim due date as range, set due date equal to active document dot bookmarks. Whoops. And the bookmark is due date dot range. Okay. And then due date dot text equals me due date, whoops, dot value. Okay, so I guess we could try to see if this works and see what happens. So we want to save it, of course, as always. And then we want to click this. Okay, so my paper, Michael Langdon, affiliation, let's pick an affiliation, course name, instructor's name, due date. Now if I wanted to, I just wanted to keep January 1st, I could do that. Now let's click OK. Oh, paper title 2 is not found. Oh, okay. Oh, I see what I did wrong. I see what I did wrong. Yeah, it's this actually. So Control C, Control V. This is actually 2. And I don't actually need this. So, oops, I gotta break this, sorry. So, oh, and then I forgot to do something here. So in order for you to see this, I would need to say me repaint. Whoops, I'm sorry. Me dot repaint. And what that does is it redraws the document. So I'm going to click Save, and then we'll click this, and we'll try this again. My essay, Jenny Doe. We got our affiliations here. We got our course name. We'll just move this over. Now I'm going to click Cancel, and you can see, well, it did work. All right. So let me just do this one more time. So as you can see, it did work down here. Oh, our thing did not work on our paper title though. I wonder what happened there. So we'll just click Cancel and go back here and double click OK. So the first thing we should do is just make sure our one paper title works. Neither of them worked. So let me do something here. Let me just get rid of this one. And then we'll play this. Okay, that did work. So yeah, so what we're doing wrong here is I have to have another set of, I just can't, I don't think I can do this twice. But let's try it again. I think I have to have another variable. I don't think I can stack it. But we're going to find out. So we save it. We do this. We go another essay. We click OK. Let's move this stuff out of the way. Nope, that did not work. So that didn't work. So what we probably have to do here is I have to do dim paper title to as range. Okay. Set paper title to like that. And then do probably a double one again. So we're going to save that. We'll do this. We'll say another essay. Plug that, and there it worked. Let's see if it did it on the second page. Oh, it won't show us that. But it did work in the first page, so what we have to do here is I just have to go at the end of this, of course, I need to hide it again. So after it's done doing the code, we can just tell it to come down here and to hide it. Okay? So what we want to do is we want to close this. Come up to this document here. Okay? And then we can view code. Okay? And then we can say document. And then we can say where it says new. So if we create a new document from this, we want it to author info form dot show. Okay. And we can also do this. So we'll save that. We can also do this for if it just opens. So I can take this, copy it, Control C, Control V. And so if we just open this document, it'll do the same thing. Now you can always cancel the button, right? You don't have to do it. So we're going to click that and click save and all of that good stuff. And now I'm going to close this as well. Just make sure one more time to save it. Okay. And then what we want to do here is really get rid of all of this stuff. So now I closed out and then I restarted it, and this is what popped up right away, which is what we want. So I'm just going to type in some stuff here. So my essay, author's name, we'll do our affiliation, we'll just pick something different, course name, business planning, instructor's name. Mary Sullivan, we'll go June 1st, 2022, and click OK. And as you can see, it worked. Okay, so there it is. So one of the things I'm going to do now is just open up this document to show you how it's going to work. So if we double click on this, it's going to come up and there's our form. So I'll say this is my essay. We'll just say it's Mike Langdon. Our affiliation will be English department. Our course name will be copy editing, we'll say, and our instructor will be Mr. Cotter. Our due date will be June 1st, 2022, I mean. And now we're going to click OK. And as you can see, everything worked great. There is one small glitch though, and you have to be very careful of this. If I save this now, it's going to write over this template that I just made, or this macro enabled document, and it's going to basically, the next time I want to use it, it's not going to work properly. So if you want to save this, then you actually have to come over here and click Save As. Okay. I don't want to do that either. I want to actually close this out completely. Don't save. And then I'm going to come back into it and show you what we're going to do to kind of prevent that from happening in the future. So I'm just going to click Cancel. I'm going to come back to Developer here, go back into Visual Basic, open up my form, double click on OK, and then come down here at the bottom. Then right under Repaint, I'm going to add some code here. So now what I want to do is I want it to have it automatically save. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is we need to make a variable, and we're just going to say dim, and I'll say string doc name. Okay, dim string doc name as string, and then we need another one for the position as integer. Okay, and basically what this is doing is it's finding the position of the extension name, the extension in the file name. So we're going to go string doc name equals empty string, and then we're going to say int position equals in str rev. Oops, I'm sorry. Okay, and doc name, comma, so basically where the extension goes. So if uses a capital If, So basically, if the document hasn't been named, it has not yet been saved, we want the user to provide a file name. Okay. So we're going to say string doc name equals input box, and we're going to say in quotes, please enter the name, the name, and then the quotation mark ends, the ampersand, a lower underscore, underscore, and then of your document. Okay. Else, okay, string doc name equals left. Whoops. So basically, if it's not there, it's going to make it there. So string name So basically what it's doing here is it's checking to see if there's a file extension, and if there isn't one, it adds it. And then we have to say end if, and now it's going to save the document. So active document dot save as to file name colon equals string doc name, comma, underscore, file format equals WD format, document default. So Word document format, document default. And then we have we hide our author info form. Okay. So that comes down there now. Now we're going to save this. Okay. And I'm just going to okay, so I'm going to add one more form here. Okay. And we're going to call this form whoops, let me get this out of the way. We're just going to call this form saved file. And then on the caption, saved file. Okay, and then we're going to add a label. I'm just going to change it to like 18. Okay. And I'm just going to get rid of the caption. And then we're just going to say user form, but we're going to say initialize. And when it initializes it, we want it to, the caption wants to say this. Okay. your document has been saved in the Documents folder of this PC. Okay? So we're going to close that and we're just going to save this. Okay? And then we're just going to close this and we're going to come back to this and we're going to say saved file.show. Okay? And it's going to show us that. Oh, and then also when we do saved file, oh, I forgot this. So save file. We need to add a command button here. I'll just put it right there. And whoops. And we'll just say okay, but 2. And we're going to say okay. Change the font to 12. Bold. Okay. Okay. And then we double click on this. We want it to say saved file.hide. Okay. So we just want that window to go away then. So we can close this and we just want to save all of this. Okay. And we'll close this and save it again. Close that. We do want to save this because we don't have any information here. Now we're going to come back all the way out and double click on this and see if it works. So it comes up. There's a form. This is my school essay. Author's name would be Mike Langdon. Affiliation. Of course, we can pull down these. You can also just type in an affiliation there, so you don't have to pick from any of these. We'll just say Mr. Holland, and then of course we'll type in July 1st, 2022, and then we'll click OK. Now what it wants us to do is it wants us to name our document. So my new essay, we click OK. Your document has been saved. We click OK. It comes back to here. My new essay, as you can see, it's saved to this PC. There's the title right up there. Let's see, did it work on the second page? This is my school essay. It did, so it worked perfect. All right, so that's part 3. And of course, I did change some of the text boxes to combo boxes, and I show you how to program that. I also showed you how to program it so that it automatically saves the file rather than you accidentally saving it over your document. That's your macro recorded document. In addition, once I close this, I'm just going to close this now. I'm going to come back into this. And one of the things you probably want to do is come over here and save this as, and then save this as a macro enabled template. Okay. And you can even save it like as your document model there or whatever you want to do with it. So you can save it as a template. So actually, I don't think we want to save this. We want to save this as APA document. Okay, and we're going to save it in our custom office templates. So save it there. So now I'm going to close this. Okay, and now if I come back into Word, I should be able to go to my new personal, and there it is right there, my APA document. If I open it, there it is. This is another new essay. My affiliation, my course name, my instructor's name. Click OK. We even There's been saved. Now if I come down here and I go Documents, there's my new essay, this new essay, so it saved them. Okay, so it works. So that's it. That's part 3, and that's how you finish up this document. Of course, you can change your document and place your bookmarks anywhere in your document. Remember, if you want the same input from the form going to 2 separate bookmarks, you have to have all new information, all new variables, all new everything. Okay, so that's it. Have a great day.